has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Hello, Professor here again, and we are back for Detour number 63. And this is Darkest Dungeon. And Darkest Dungeon is about making the most of a bad situation. Quests will fail or must be abandoned. Heroes will die, and when they die, they stay dead. Progress autosaves constantly, so action is permanent, and I did not get the chance to read the rest of that. But yeah, so we are going to play a bit of Darkest Dungeon. This is a pretty old game now. Came out in 2016 on the 19th of January. So over 3 years ago now. And it is developed, or was developed and published by Red Hook Studios. And it is a turn-based strategy, dungeon crawler, roguelite type game. And I have not played this before. I've seen it played a little bit around when it came out, a little bit after probably, but not recently. But I do know the gist. I do have all of the official DLC and expansions. I'm going to leave it all enabled. One is about the Crimson Court, because of the vampirism, whatever it's called. But I'm fine with that. Probably going to fail horrifically the first time regardless. So, we're going to play on the normal difficulty, which is Darkest. Probably don't want to go Blood Moon. Radiant, I don't know. Normal feels right. And we will start it up.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places.
The cart is not attached to anything.
Pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors.
Probably fine, it's just showing the way.
Yourself. And remember, there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell.
Okay. There is a horse, but the cart's not actually attached to it. Might be an oversight.
We'll find our redemption.
Probably. But usually you don't have the cart being pulled by the reins, so you want something to attach the horse to the cart directly. So it is loading. It's going to take a little bit longer than I expected. I know this because I did this once before just now, but I had to start over because apparently Discord has decided that it's going to enable the new game overlay by default, and even though streamer mode is enabled because I have OBS running and that starts automatically, it's still going to show messages overlaid onto certain games, which was great. I did not know it would do that. But fortunate enough to not have received any messages that would trigger a pop-up previously while recording or playing anything, apparently. Not that I took notice of anyway, but now I've disabled that, so we are good to go. But that was mildly annoying, to say the least. Okay, so yeah. We get to start off a little bit of a tutorial. We are in the first room. Click to move to the next room.
Run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
I know how this part works.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Yep. So we have a highwayman. His turn currently. And we have a grape shot blast and open vein. We'll just use this. 6 damage is pretty good. And we have a crusader with a smite, sailor's accusation, stunning blow, and bulwark of faith. Now you can change these out later on. So there are a few concepts at play here. You'll notice the dots underneath the attack. The white ones indicate where the character has to be positioned to be able to use this ability. So for smite to work, the crusader has to be in one of the first 2 positions. You can have up to 4 characters at a time. And he can only target the first 2 enemy positions with it, and the back 2 will be safe. This one targets 2 enemies, and then this one is a buff on themselves. And then you get to mark a target, but you can mark any target. We're just going to do a smite. Should probably kill this thing.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Yeah. Then we get some loot, so we'll take some gold. And we'll keep going. We'll switch back to the map so we can see our progress. Then we found an interactive object, which we saw show up on the path there. Click it. We don't really have any... Sometimes you can drag an object here to trigger something in particular or increase the chance that something good will happen, but I think in this case we just need to search.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Wow, yeah, okay, so we found a whole bunch of gold in that tent for some reason. And then we'll go into the room we were headed towards.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
So now we have 2 new enemies. We have a little tougher one. And I think this one takes up 2 positions instead of just 1. He's twice as wide. And we now have we couldn't use these two before because they... Well, I'm not sure actually. It should have... We had an enemy in the second position before. We're going to do a grape shot blast. Hit both of them. Give them a bit of a debuff. Let me dodge their counter. Oh, wow. Don't know if that's scripted or not that you dodge those. Unfortunately, I can't target the shooter in the back. Well, I resisted the stun. That's unfortunate.
Obliterated.
Crit on that one, which is nice. We'll try for a stun again. Still resisting. Okay. Game's being very generous right now. I think tracking shot bypass stealth. Don't really need that. Resisted the bleed. Try for it. Keep trying for a stunning blow. Resisting. Ouch. Okay, so there he pushed our Crusader back. Did not mean to right click on them. We're going to put them back into position because they are more effective. That way, we'll try for a stunning blow again. There we got a successful stun, so he will spend his next turn removing the stun condition. And then we'll do a pistol shot. And then we can hopefully kill him.
Victory.
There we go.
Turning point.
The blood is a special type of supply item. Any collected balls of the blood will be retained in your estate at quest end. May be added to the provisions of embarking parties. The blood is rare. Spread it around wisely among those in need. So yeah, the blood, if one of your quote unquote heroes turn into a vampire, they need the blood to live, basically. So we completed the quest, we get to return to the hamlet. Oh, I don't think I opened that chest. I'm not sure. Negative for speed on... Not that great on the Crusader. Doesn't have a lot of ranged skills. I think Zealous Accusation might count, but I'm not entirely sure.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Yeah. So, you have a lot of bosses to defeat as you progress through the game. Our first task is to successfully complete an expedition into the ruins. Apprentice Highwayman and Apprentice Crusader. Right, so... Okay. That pops up that. Let's see what we have in this stage.
Soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Yeah, so we have the stagecoach where we can recruit. I guess the game calls them heroes as
Better
well.
laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield.
Indeed. Okay, where's that there? Right, so we have a number of heirlooms we start out with apparently. So we can... Stagecoach network increases the number of recruits available for hire. Change will take effect after you return from your next quest. 3 heroes instead of 2. We'll upgrade that.
Great heroes can be found even here, in the mud and rain.
Then we need 8 deeds for the next level, which I would have liked to get. And then size of the roster from 10 to 13. Don't think we need that quite yet, so we will leave that. Ancestors' memoirs. Embark on a quest. Oh, I do want to check things out.
Time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Yeah. So here are the 2 intro sequences, and as we progress through the game, it will show us be able to rewatch previous cinematics, essentially.
Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
Indeed, the jeweler. The comet's crash has attracted an opportunist who specializes in otherworldly treasure. Can spend crystal shards earned at the farmstead here. I don't know what that is. That is new to me. Some of the expansions, of course, came out after I watched some videos about this game, so I won't know certain things at all. Merchant network reduces trinket cost by 10% and increases the number of trinkets available to 4. Interesting. Okay. We can't afford anything currently, so we won't do anything with that. And then we have the graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Wonderful. So, let's embark.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Quest and parties. Where you select a quest and form an adventuring party of 4 heroes to embark on it. Right. So we have the ruins, which is the area we have access to. Could also go into the darkest dungeon, but that is probably not a good idea right now. So we have Reynold and Bonnell. We'll add them to our party. The group then gets a name called the Red Hook, and if we combine these 4 heroes again, plinks, they will retain that name. If we make a different combination of 4 different, or different set of 4 heroes, they may get a different name, which is a nice touch. So, so we have a goal to explore 90% of rooms, which means we don't have a specific thing we need to find or a specific creature we need to kill. We just need to explore.
Cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Yeah. So here we get to buy some equipment to bring with us. We need to buy 8 torches, I think should do. We have 1 vial of blood. We do not need that currently. Used while virtuous. Interesting. I don't know what that is. We have skeleton keys. We use to unlock things. We'll get one of those. We'll get a few bandages, a couple of shovels, and some provisions. Always good. And then we get a free holy water and a free anti-venom. We will keep. And I think that will do. Maybe. I haven't done this before, so I don't know how much provisions are appropriate, but we'll find out, no doubt. Your first expedition into the ruins of your ancestry. Be curious, be careful. I will be one of those things, probably, maybe both. All right. Let's head northwards, being the only option. We get a free torch. Won't mind that. Of course, as we have a torch lit, and as we advance, it burns down, imposing certain disadvantages, and perhaps other advantages as well. Keep the light up, of course. Okay, so we have our Plague Doctor, our new hero, which is kind of a healer, also has some useful abilities. We'll have to use this, I guess. Resists both. Wonderful. Get a bit of a debuff. And then Judgment. You.
Formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Yeah. I don't think that is going to be too much of an issue, given that we're
executed with
two
impunity.
Enemies currently. This is what I forgot to do on the first tutorial quest, which probably doesn't matter all that much as long as I don't keep forgetting it, but I didn't open that chest. We have an unlocked strongbox, which means we do not need to spend a key on it. I think you can also use...
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
I think you can also maybe use a shovel on them to... have a chance of opening a locked chest. Here we have a pile of rubble.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Yeah, you'll encounter these which block the way. If you don't have a shovel, you can use have your team use their hands to clear the way, but that costs health. So here we got a surprise round because it was light enough. So, and the lower the light level, the lower the chance of actually surprising enemies. So light that up again to decrease their chance of... Oh, it actually hits 3. Nice. You stun brings you forward with a stun. Didn't have... Oh, never mind. 19. So stress is not good. We want to generally avoid stress. If the stress fills up, obviously if the health goes down to 0, the characters won't die immediately. They will end up at death's door. You can bring them back. If they take another hit, then they die. But they have a chance. If their stress fills up, they go mad, which also does not end them immediately. It can have negative consequences. Sometimes it doesn't, which is interesting. Okay, you have a buff, so stun.
Gone, fiend.
It's just a stun resist. So there we got a crit, which means he didn't leave a corpse, which is lovely. And stun you. Did stun you and brought you forward. It was your turn next. Which is pretty interesting. Time that.
As the enemy crumbles.
Marvelous. We get 2 busts, which is nice. Got some heirlooms. Come on. No, I want to. God dang it. There we go. Okay. Nothing in this room. We'll ignore this room and just go around here. We probably only need to explore all but one, given our goal. Find a pack, get some loot. Oh. Well, that was a bit of a waste. Oh dear, one of these guys. What's this brawler? Hit all of them. All resisted the debuff, except the back one. We'll want to chance to stun you, but you dodged. That's annoying. They tried to push him, but he resisted. He's now bleeding, however, which is inconvenient. We do have bandages, however, we can use. Could also just heal. That does not end the bleed, though. We'll see if we can stun you. Nice. Alright. Took some bleed damage. Yep. We'll use a bandage. Turns out you need to right-click to activate things in the inventory. Did not know that. You are stunned, so we are going to... Well, we're going to do that. Well, that's annoying. That's quite annoying. Please don't dodge this time. Be stunned. Nice. Are you unholy? You are not unholy. You are unholy. But you're out of reach currently. We'll do that instead. We'll spread out damage. And we'll use a judgment on you because that's annoying.
Give them no quarter.
Leaves a corpse though. Take some damage. It's relatively fine.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Pretty nice. We'll do a plague grenade. Impose some blight over there, which is delayed damage over time, basically. You can't really do much. We'll have you buff yourself. It will mark you though. Which is not good.
As the fiend falls,
Kill you.
hope blossoms.
Get some gold for crests. And then we have an heirloom chest. This is also not locked. Get some additional heirlooms. And we got some scouting. So there's a trap on the way there. We should be able to see that though. And the highwaymen disarmed it, which is great. Nothing here. Get some deeds, which is nice. We need those. Hunger. We'll eat 4 food. We have plenty of rations, actually. Probably more than we needed for this mission. Nothing in this room. Go towards the last one. Yeah, I know. Got plenty of shovels. Looks like I brought the correct amount of shovels. Then we found one, of course. Ooh. Don't throw liquids on people. That's not nice. We will do a grape shot blast here. Some debuffs. And then we'll do a disorienting blast. Like the look of your crossbow. Now you resist all of it, of course. So have some judgment instead. Ouch. Oh no.
Death waits
Ow.
for the slightest lapse in concentration.
By the looks of those arrows in your back, it looks like you need to practice your aim a little bit.
Impressive.
Nice. That was impressive. Almost took care of you, and we got rid of one of them without leaving a corpse. You're the healer. We'll do this again. Take care of that first one. We'll leave a corpse though. Nice dodge. You can shuffle them a little bit. Alright, that clears corpses. Lovely. Okay.
A momentary abatement.
We'll heal yourself. And we'll... Oh, miss that. It's unfortunate. Fortunately, you got stunned. You are reduced to use to a bayonet jab. Kind of wish I could get more information about the abilities. But I guess that's fair that I cannot put some extra healing on you. And then we'll judge you. Take you out. Smite you.
Annihilated.
Marvelous. We get some onyx, some anti-venom, a portrait, and another vial of blood. That's worth 5 gold each. We'll just eat some rations so we can take that vial. Also see if we can...
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
Yeah.
Paid for in blood.
500 gold for that. We'll trade the 150 gold for the 2 busts, I think. And then we are going to complete the quest. You of course get some money back for leftover provisions, as well as treasures to find. But sometimes it can be worth choosing to return with other things. And then get 3,000 gold, 4 crests, and a health stone as a reward for completing the quests. Oh, that's not nice. Fast healer. That's pretty good. That's not very nice. Of course, the red modifiers are things you do not want. And the other ones are things you do want.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Yeah. We've unlocked the tavern and the abbey. And we've completed our first goal. So, with the tavern,
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms.
heroes relieve stress by taking part in activities at the tavern and abbey. Each activity has different side effects. Experiment to find the best activity for each hero depending on their quirks. Committing a hero to an activity locks them in that activity until the next week. You'll have to take a different hero with you on the next quest. So yeah, Bonnell here, for example. We have the caretaker is gambling, apparently. Bonnell here is quite stressed. There's a bunch of negative modifiers as well. You're resilient and hard-skinned. Religious visions and delusions. I don't really think you don't have any relevant quirks, so we can probably put you anywhere. We'll put you in the bar. And then we're going to visit the stagecoach, and we have a Seeker Jester, Seeker Man-at-Arms, and a Vestal. Weak grip on life, it's not that great. Scouting chance is kind of good. Torn Rotator. Scientific. Divine Grace and Divine Comfort, negative 20% healing. Hippocratic. Oh. Okay. So, I mean... Oh, so you heal better, but you get healed worse. That's interesting. We're gonna recruit you.
Sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
And you. And you. Recruit all of them. And then the Abbey, of course,
Cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
Yeah, so pretty much the same as the tavern, but more for the more religiously inclined. So, I'm going to end the video here. And as a first taste of the game, I like it. Of course, I'd seen parts of this before. But I would very much like to explore more of this. I might turn this into a Let's Play in the future. We'll have to see. If so, we'll continue from here. But for now, I will see you in the next video.